My family and I visited an ancestral house in our province in Visayas. While not anything major has happened during our visit, I still get chills every time I remember that encounter. We were going about on our normal day as we checked off the tourist spots we visited one by one of our itinerary. It was said to be one of the oldest heritage houses in the province, and it was owned by a former vice president's wife. We arrived at dusk, and so, like any normal child would assume, the house would be filled with ghosts. I could immediately tell what house we were about to visit when we reached the street, since the facade of the house was eerie. After parking our van and getting off, we were given a brief background about the house. A brick roof almost covered the lawn, and there we were, greeted with a grand wooden staircase in the center and a vintage car, both parked on the sides. As we reached the last steps of the stairs, what welcomed us was the portrait of the vice president. It looks like an ordinary portrait from afar. However, when you come closer, or more specifically in the direction that the painting is faced in, then you will notice that the person's eyes seem to follow you wherever you go. Not to mention that it was sandwiched by an opaque glass window that faces the untouched part of the property. After exploring the foyer, we headed to the ballroom. The floor made creaking noises, which is why you could somehow estimate how many people were on the floor. But one particular footstep seemed heavier than others. The sound it makes in contact with the floor make it seem like the footwear was made of abaca. But everyone was wearing sneakers. I got thirsty while walking around, so I asked permission from my parents and went down to get my water bottle in the van. I ran as quickly as I could, avoiding the portrait that seemed to follow me with his gaze. While hurrying down the stairs, I see a man wearing white casual but traditional clothing. It was like a hybrid of a barong and a camisa de chino. The man was wiping his car with a towel silently. He must be the housekeeper. I stared at him for a few seconds before deciding to run again, since it was getting dark and I was alone. And when I went back, he was gone, and once again avoided the painting, and while walking towards my family, I was slightly pulled by a housekeeper.
Ineng, huwag kang lalabas ng mag-isa lalo na't madilim na at wala nang taong nagbabantay sa baba,
she told.
Okay lang po, may naglilinis naman po ng kotse sa baba,
I replied.
Ano? Walang gumagalaw sa sasakyan na yon. Sabi kasi sa amin dati na alagang-alaga ni Don Mariano yung kotse at inihabilin ng kanyang mga apo na huwag lumapit doon.
Behind you.